Michael Jordan went through it. LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, they all went through failures. And I know. I'm glad I got that at a young age. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to happen the way I wanted to at the time I wanted to. So, keep working.
Jalen Rose, you're the player. Your reaction?
Well, KD, and in that piece I really was thinking, adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. And he's still going to work as hard as he can to try to win a championship. But losing and how you deal with losing is actually a part of it. For me personally, I lost a state championship in high school, been a part of 2 NCAA finals where we lost the championship. Fortunately, I wasn't the one that called timeout. 2000, lost the finals of the NBA. So how do you respond? And I think he's going to continue to work as hard as he can, get Russell Westbrook back. And I know a lot of people are overlooking this team when you look at teams on paper, but I'm just going to close my eyes and pick OKC to come out of the West. But they better do it fast because 4 years left on Russell Westbrook, 3 years left on KD.
Say it.
I don't think if they make a big move, I think they're going to lose both of those players. Ooh. I really do. Wow. They have to make a blockbuster move. When you lose James Harden, when you lose Jeff Green, you have to make a move to keep those guys in OKC.
So you're picking them to come out of the West if they make a big
move.
Hold on.
I'm pig
Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, because Westbrook's coming back sooner than we thought. I'm pig-piling on that point. I think there is now a clock on this Durant-Westbrook situation in Oklahoma City. We have never seen a team not pay the tax and win the title. You have to do it. Those are how you get the extra 2 good guys in your team. And what they did with that Harden trade, I think it was the worst trade of this century in basketball because they gave away somebody who was the best 2 guard in the league for a couple spare parts. And not just that, but now if I'm Durant and Westbrook, why am I going to stay here? I have all these other teams where they'll do anything they can to pay $90, $100 million. Look at what the Nets are doing. The Nets are going to pay $90 million in luxury tax. You're Durant, you're going to stay here in this mom-and-pop organization? I don't see it, and I think he's going to leave in 3 years. I do.
Well, when I think of Kevin Durant, I had the good fortune of coaching Michael Jordan as a very young player. And at a time when the talent level on that team did not meet what Isaiah Thomas's was, what Larry Bird's was, what Magic Johnson was. All Michael ever heard was he didn't make everybody better. It was the Michael show and everybody else. I remember going to him and saying, Michael, we're going to have to try to develop some of these other guys to develop some trust. And I threw out there to him, great players love challenges. I said, Michael, how about maybe scoring a little bit less and throwing up some triple doubles? Well, that registers with him, all of a sudden some triple doubles. I think where Durant is right now, with no Westbrook, the loss of Harden, and Kevin Martin, who they rented for a year, he's got to make Serge Ibaka a consistent third scorer. That team needs a consistent third scorer. This is a very good defensive team. Remember we said last week when we got together, I said, and Scotty Brooks had talked about him being more of a facilitator. I looked at the box score the other night against Utah. He had a tremendous game. He scored 42 points.
24 foul shots.
But 1 assist.
That's okay.
And to me, Jeremy Lamb, whatever, these guys are...
Who?
Jeremy Lamb.
Oh, okay.
Now, the reason I say that, you got to find out who these guys are. And I think what will sustain Oak City this year is they are very good defensively. When they get Westbrook back, if they can get that consistent third scorer, I mean, Durant is a closer.
Well, and on top of that, Durant and Westbrook are 2 of the best 10 players in the league.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they're done this year. I think they're one of the contenders. I think it's either them or San Antonio coming out of the West. The point is they gave those guys a degree of difficulty, and they didn't have to. They could have kept Harden for 1 more year and then figured it out, and they just didn't.
Bill, the Thunder, they're a year removed, basically, from being the Western Conference champions.
Yes.
I want to ask you again, you called this franchise a mom-and-pop organization. I mean, that's a big insult, right? I mean, basically.
Not really.
Why do you consider them mom-and-pop? Because of this Kevin Martin? Because of James Harden?
Because they're terrified to pay the luxury tax, which I get. But we're in a situation where the league is doing so much better than it was a couple years ago. The franchise values have gone through the roof. Sacramento just got $100 million more than Golden State did. Golden State, they paid, I think, $450. It's now valued at $800. If you have Durant and Westbrook on your team, your goal can't be, oh, we got to turn a profit. It's got to be, I want to win titles with these guys. Because if you're the owner who doesn't want to win titles with those guys, then sell the team to a billionaire who does. And that's the part that bothers me. It's like, I wanted to see those guys be in the finals 6, 7, 8 times. Like, it makes me mad that they split them up.
And they're a terrific tandem. You would love to see Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant get that other player that now is going to help them get over the top. Another creator. And I think they will look to do a blockbuster move.
And they have cap assets. They have some draft picks. Like they're a candidate.
It's a matter of green-lighting it and taking a chance and being willing to spend that money.
But you got to give Presti credit. All of the great players he drafted. He drafted Jeff Green.
Great draft.
He drafted James Harden.
I don't blame Presti for this because I think they told him you have to trade James Harden. So that's what he had to do.
But is this not the new collective bargaining kicking in where you can have 2 max star players, but can you have 3? And if you're going to have 3, Bill, it's what you talked about. It's going to cost you a lot of money in the luxury
tax. So you get penalized.
Exactly. So, I mean, what is it? You do everything right, you build a team, and now you have to break it up because you can't pay the tax. I mean, that's a tough thing to have to swallow.
And the irony is the whole reason they created that new CBA was to take care of people like Oklahoma City, and instead it made it harder for them to win the title. It's too bad.
About 2 weeks away from having Russell Westbrook return to the lineup as well. But basically the window, everybody agrees, the window of opportunity in Oklahoma City is closing, certainly not getting any bigger.